Afternoon, folks. Hope you're doing well. It's a little bit before supper time, and I thought I would try to make up my next rant about some experiences that I've had over the past term or so. Dealing with especially young kids, younger students who are struggling to learn. And one of them at one point turned to me and said, "I only do things until they stop being fun. I only do things until they stop being fun." And this person is a very beginning student. And what he meant by that is, I only do something until I have to start working at it. And this is a interesting idea. I only do things until I have to start working at them. And I can sort of understand and relate to what he said, because unlike him, while I've been 13 before, he's never been 63, and I may have forgotten a lot of what it was like to be young, I suppose. But I've also learned that the real fun really starts after just a whole lot of frustration and practice and doing things over and over and over and over again, until, especially, this isn't true with the fundamentals. The fundamentals of any craft have to be learned before things can really start getting fun. I can't remember who said this, but something along the lines that knowledge has a right to be boring. I think it's a man named Chrysander who said something like that. Wissenschaft hat das Recht, langweilig zu sein. In other words, work has a right to be hard and to be tedious and to be boring, because that's absolutely true. It's tedious, absolutely boring kinds of things, especially in the fundamentals. Trying out stages, there's just a lot of work and a lot of sweat. And it can often be very, 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 very difficult. But after you've learned your basics, then you've got those solid fundamentals down in whatever craft or whatever field you go into, then you can start really doing some interesting things. Right? No kid, I've said this before, Gustav Mahler did not write his Fifth Symphony when he was 5 minutes old, much less 30 seconds old. No, he couldn't, and no, he didn't. And it's true with other things. After a whole lot of work, then things really start getting fun. Right? Now, and the other thing is that the next little bit of this might sound like I'm decrying people in various career and or job paths, and I don't mean to do that. But given a choice between spending, I don't know, X number of hours earning money writing a string quartet, given a choice between that and spending that same amount of time standing behind a counter saying, "Supersize that for you, mister?" Well, I know which one I would pick. And again, I don't mean to decry anyone in their career path or in their job. That's not what I'm doing, because both are sincere can be hard, honest daily labor, and worthy of respect. But given a choice between the one and the other, I think I'd rather write music. In fact, I happen to know that I would rather write music. But I could not have written music if I had not learned the basics of how to write stuff down. And let me say that there is a difference between composing and writing. Right? Composing literally just means to put together. Whereas writing, that's a whole other thing. You can put stuff together on a piano or on an instrument and learn to play it, and that's fine. But taking a pen and a piece of paper, writing stuff down, that is a whole other ball of wax. And it's very, 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 very hard, very, 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 very frustrating, and very, 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 sometimes very boring to learn how to do it. But once you've learned how to do it, then that's a good thing. I mean, think about it. The more things that you guys knew how to do well in music, or whatever your chosen field is, the more things that you can get paid to do in that field of endeavor. And perhaps more importantly, the fewer things you have to pay somebody else to do. Say, for example, you're putting together a CD of your pieces and you want to add a saxophone line to this one song that you've written. Well, guess what? If you know how to do it, then you can pick up a pencil and write it down. If you can't, then you can't. Right? So, since all those things open up to you, why wouldn't you want to learn? Why wouldn't you want to learn all that stuff that you can do if you know how to do things? The more things you know how to do, the more options that you have. The fewer things you know how to do, the fewer options that you have. Think about that. Think about that. Well, I don't want to do this, it's fun. Well, yeah, it's frequently not fun at the beginning, but after you've learned, after you've really learned how to do it and gotten some practice, then it can really start getting fun because you know what you're doing. Anyway, a pre-supper rant. Thought people might find this interesting, and hope you're well, and I will chat with you in the reasonably near soon. Bye for now.